Good morning, students. Welcome you back to the online classes for Standard 8. In the last session, we had read the chapter The Three Questions, which is written by Leo Tolstoy. And what were the three questions? The first one, what was the right time for every action? Second, who were the most important people? And third, what was the right occupation or action? So, to these questions, many people came with different answers, and we discussed that in that session. But the king was not happy with that. All the answers being different, the king agreed with none of them and gave the reward to none because nobody gave him satisfactory answer. But he was very curious, he was inquisitive, he wanted to know the answer. So he decided to consult a hermit. So, who is a hermit? One who has renounced the world for religion, a saint. So he went to him, and the hermit he lived in a wood which he never quitted, left. He received none but common folk. So the king put on simple clothes. Before reaching the hermits, what he did, he got down from the horse and left his bodyguards behind and went alone. So, up to this, we had read in the last session. So, let's come. What happened next? He got the answer or not? When the king approached, the hermit was digging earth in front of his hut. Hut means sail house. Seeing the king, he greeted him and went on digging. So, what was the hermit doing when the king approached him? Approached him means came near him. So, when the king went to him, so what was the hermit doing? Yes, it was digging. And after that, the hermit greeted him and went on continuing his work, that is, digging. The hermit was frail and weak, and each time he stuck his spade into the ground and turned a little earth, he breathed heavily. So, the hermit was a very weak person. He was very old and weak, and every time he just stuck his spade on the earth, so every time he was digging the earth, he became very breathless. So, he breathed heavily. So, he was getting tired. The king went up to him and said, I have come to you, wise hermit, to ask you to answer three questions. How can I learn to do the right thing at the right time? Who are the people I most need and whom I should therefore pay more attention to than to the rest? And what affairs are the most important and need my first attention? So the king went to the hermit and asked the three questions. What do you think? What the hermit will do? He will answer him. Let's see what happened. The hermit listened to the king but answered nothing. He just spat on his hand and recommenced digging. So, what do you mean by recommenced? Recommenced meaning continued. So, what he did, the hermit listened whatever the king said. He didn't know that he was a king till then because he was dressed up in a commoner's dress, in a common people's dress. And he came. The hermit greeted him. The king asked him these three questions and requested him to answer them. But the hermit didn't tell anything. He continued his work. You're tired, said the king. Let me take the spade and work a while for you. So, what quality shows? The king is very helpful. So, the king he asked the hermit to give the spade to him and told him to rest for a while. Until then, he will work for him. Thanks, said the hermit. Giving the spade to the king, he sat down on the ground. When he had dug two beds, the king stopped and repeated his question. The hermit again gave no answer, but rose, stretched out his hand for the spade, and said, Now rest a while and let me walk a bit. So, how many beds the king dug here? Two beds. And then he stopped for a while and asked the questions again. This time also the hermit gave no answer, but he stood up and stretched his hand for the spade, and he told him to take some rest and he will work now. But the king didn't give him the spade and continued to dig. 1 hour passed, and another. The sun began to sink behind the trees, and the king at last stuck the spade into the ground and said, I came to you, wise man, for an answer to my questions. So the hermit asked for the spade. The king didn't give him. Rather, what he did, he continued digging the earth, continued digging the beds, preparing the beds. And here, beds means rows for planting the seeds. 1 hour passed and the other passed, and the sun began to sink. Now it was already sunset, and the king became very restless. Now he was irritated, you can say, and he got very angry. He stuck the spade on the ground and he said that I have come for the answer to my questions. And if you can give me none, tell me so, and I will return home. So after that, he just gave his ultimatum. If you don't know the answer, then tell me. Why should I wait here? I should go back to my house. I should return. Here comes someone running, said the hermit. Let's see who it is. So suddenly what happened? Somebody came running towards them. And let's see who this man is. The king turned round and saw a bearded man. So what the king saw? A bearded man who was coming out of the wood. From where he was coming? Wood. Wood means forest. The man held his hands pressed against his stomach, and blood was flowing under them. When he reached the king, he fell fainting on the ground, moaning feebly. So what happened? So the hermit said that, look, somebody is coming from the woods. And they saw that he was a bearded man, a man with beard. So he was coming, and what was he doing? He was pressing his hand against his stomach, and blood was flowing from under them. Perhaps he was injured. And when he came near the king, he fell down, he fainted. He lost consciousness. He became unconscious, and he was groaning. Moaning means crying in pain. He was groaning very loudly. You can say it. The hermit unfastened the man's cloth. They made it loose. There was a large wound in his stomach. The king washed it as best as he could and bandaged it with his handkerchief and with a towel the hermit had. So, what the king did? So the man was fainting, so he was losing his consciousness and he was crying with pain. The king and the hermit, they loosened, unfastened. So the cloth was tied to the man, so they unfastened it. And then what they saw? There was a large wound in his stomach. Where was the wound? In the stomach. And what the king did? The king washed it and then bandaged it. The king washed and bandaged it with his handkerchief and the towel of the hermit. But the blood wouldn't stop flowing, and the king again and again removed the bandage soaked with warm blood and washed and rebandaged the wound. So this is important. So what the king did with the bearded man? The king washed the wound of the bearded man and bandaged it, removed it again and again, and washed and rebandaged the wound. And finally the blood ceased flowing. Ceased means stopped. Finally the blood stopped flowing and the man revived. The man became a little bit better and asked for something to drink. And the king brought fresh water and gave it to him. So these are the things which the king did for the bearded man. And he went and brought fresh water and gave it to him. Meanwhile, the sun had set and it had become cool. So the king, with the hermit's help, carried the wounded man into the hut and laid him on the bed. Lying on the bed, the man closed his eyes and was quiet. But the king was so tired with his walk and with the work he had done that he crouched down on the threshold and fell asleep, so soundly that he slept all through the short summer night. So, what happened then? So, the king took the bearded man and, with the help of hermit, they carried him into the hut and they just laid him on the bed, and the man closed his eyes and slept. And the king, on the other hand, he was so tired because he had never walked so much, he had never worked so much that he did for the hermit. He got so tired that he fell on the threshold. He didn't need the luxurious bed, he didn't need the luxuries of his palace. He slept on the threshold. What do you mean by the threshold? Threshold is the entrance. So on the entrance of the he slept on the entrance of the house. On the floor he slept. And he slept so soundly that was full of he slept very soundly through the that night. When he woke in the morning, it was long before he could remember where he was or who was the strange bearded man lying on the bed and gazing intently at him with shining eyes. "Forgive me," said the bearded man in a weak voice, when he saw that the king was awake and was looking at him. The king said, "I don't know you and have nothing to forgive you for." So the bearded man asked to forgive him, and the king was surprised why this man is asking for forgiveness because he doesn't know this man. But the man said that you don't know me, but I know you. And who was that bearded man? He was the Who was this bearded man? He was the enemy of the king. So he was the enemy of the king. And why he became enemy? Because the king killed his brother, executed his brother, and seized his property. So because the king executed his brother and seized his property, and so he wanted to take revenge upon the king, and he came to kill the king. "I knew you had gone alone to see the hermit, and I resolved here means decided. So he decided to kill him on the way back. But the day passed and you didn't return. So I came out from my ambush meaning hiding place. So he came out of his hiding place and I came upon your bodyguards. So while coming out of his hiding place, the bodyguards saw him and they recognized him and wounded me. I escaped from them, but should have bled to death. So he should have been killed. He should have been bled to death because there was a wound in the stomach and he was bleeding. So he said he escaped from the bodyguards, but he would have died if the king had not dressed his wounds. "I wish to kill you, and you have saved my life." So the man was full of respect, full of gratitude for the king because he had planned to kill the king, to take revenge because the king killed his brother and took all the property. And now he said, "I wanted to kill you, I wish to kill you, but you saved my life. And now, if I leave, and if you wish it, I will serve you as your most faithful slave and will bid my sons do the same. Forgive me." So now the bearded man, he said that, "Please forgive me, and I will be your faithful servant. I'll be the slave to you, and I will tell my sons to do the same. So please forgive me." The king was very glad. Glad means happy. The king was very glad to have made peace with his enemies so easily. And to have gained him for a friend. And he not only forgave him, but said he would send his servants and his own physician to attend upon him and promised to restore his property. The king was very happy because without any war, without any efforts, he made peace with this enemy, and the enemy is now loyal, he is now faithful. So he has got a friend, and the enemy is no longer an enemy, rather he has become a friend to the king, and he forgave him. And he what he did, so the king forgave him, and he sent his servants and physician, means doctor, to attend upon him, and he promised that he will restore his property. He promised that he will give his property back. So both the people become happy, the king as well as the bearded man. The bearded man's life was saved by the king, and now king got a friend. Now he is no longer an enemy, and promised to restore or give back all the property to him. And he also promised to send his physician, doctor, to treat him. Next, what happened? Having taken leave of the wounded man, the king went out into the porch and looked around for the hermit. Before going away, he wished once more to beg an answer to the question he had put. The hermit was outside on his knees, sowing seeds in the beds that had been dug the day before. So now what was the hermit doing this time? So the hermit was outside, and what he was doing? He was sowing seeds. Where? In the same beds which was dug by the king yesterday. So the king approached him and said, "For the last time, I pray you to answer my questions, wise man." "You have already been answered," said the hermit, still crouching on his thin legs, bending down and looking up at the king who stood before him. The king was surprised. He had never answered the questions. He kept on asking, but still the hermit gave no answer, and now he is saying that you have already been answered. How is it possible? What the king said? "How answered? What do you mean?" asked the king. "Do you not see," replied the hermit, "if you had not pitied my weakness yesterday and had not dug these beds for me, but had gone your way, that man would have attacked you, and you would have repented for not having stayed with me. So the most important time was when you were digging the beds, and I was the most important man, and to do me good was your most important business." So now the king asked that how I have been answered. So the hermit replied. So the hermit said that you have been answered through the situations. Though he didn't give any particular answer to these questions, rather, all these questions were answered by the situation. And he gave that situation that when you pitied, when you become sad for me, when you gave me helping hand, you dug the beds for me, and you saw I was weak, I was breathing heavily. You took pity on me, and you dug the beds for me and didn't go back, and it became evening. So if you had gone back without being without helping me at that time, what would have happened? The man who was hiding for you in that ambush, so he would have attacked you, and you perhaps you would have been killed by him, but you stayed with me. And during that time, what was the most important thing? So the right time was the time when you were digging earth for me. And the second one, who was that most important people that time? I, the hermit. And what was the most important business? To do me good or helping me. Afterwards, when that man ran to us, the most important time was when you were attending upon him. For it, if you had not dressed his wounds, he would have died without having made peace with you. So he was the most important business. Remember then, there is only one time that is important, the only time when we have any power. So that is the present time. So the present time is the most important time. the only time which we have some power to do something, because the past has already gone. We can't do with anything. The future we have never seen. The future is yet to come. And what we have with us, the present time. So this is the most important time. The most necessary man or the most important people who are is he with whom you are. So for no man knows whether he will ever have dealing with anyone else. So he says the person with whom you are at that present time is the most important person. And what is the most important thing? So let's see. The most important affair is to do him good, because for that purpose alone was man sent into this life. So the hermit said that you have been answered this question through different situations. First, when you pitied me, you took pity on me and you dug the beds, you didn't return. That time I was the most important people, and digging that time was the most right time, and to do me good, help me, was the most important thing. And when you saw the bearded man, when you were helping him, when you were bandaging the wound, so that time was the most important time, and the bearded man was the most important person, and to do him good was the most important thing. So the hermit said that the present time is the most important time, that is the right time, and the people with whom you are at that time is the most important person, and to do him good is the most important thing or occupation. So the king was satisfied, he was happy, and the hermit answered his questions not directly but through the situations. So this is all about the chapter. Thank you.